Hello, hello, hello. You're welcome again to my channel. This is Pastor Patrick Stephen. Thank you so much again for joining me on this particular episode. And I'm sure you enjoyed the last one. If you have not seen it now, I'm just going to go on part 4 because I've been discussing around the same topic, and I feel like it's a very powerful concept and thought which we need, especially at this time, the beginning of 2022. Thank you for joining me. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, please, I will encourage you to do so. Just go to the bottom, of this particular YouTube, and then you will see where you're supposed to subscribe. And of course, share with others as well. This year, we want to hit all kinds of records. It's a new year, and I believe that this year we are going to achieve so much together. Thank you for joining me again. So I want to continue. This will be a sequel from the last segment, the last part 3 talk I did on the importance of mindset. And I feel like I just want to do a quick review because I said a couple of things which I think that is very important. Let's define what a mindset is. A mindset is a set of beliefs that affect the way you think, how you think, feel, and behave. So a mindset actually is a way of thinking. And we also said that it's been discovered that success is 95% mindset and 5% strategy. And we also established that poverty is a mindset, success is a mindset, wealth is a mindset. Think about it 2 words, how your mind is set. And you're not born with any mindset. When you came into this world, you were born with no belief. There was nothing. If you go to the hospital and a woman just had a baby, you're not born with any belief. What you believe about yourself, about the world, about your environment, your potential, what you believe about people. You were not born. So everything that you believe today, which is a part of your mindset, your way of thinking, was something that you develop over time. Upbringing, from the environment, from experiences, from the media, from advertisers. Every morning when you wake up, everything is trying to program your mind. Advertisers understand this. Propaganda, media understand this. Government in so many parts of the world understand. They want to program. In fact, Satan understands the power of your mind. Because once the devil can control your mind, he knows he can control your life and your future. And that's why you've heard the concept brainwashing. Because when somebody can brainwash you, they can manipulate your future. So it's very important you take charge and you consciously build the kind of mindset that you need to be able to excel, achieve, and accomplish great things in your life. This is why this subject is not just something I just want to glide over, or like a flash in the pan. I feel it's something that actually calls for thoughtful review and observation. So we said also in the last episode that your mindset is like glasses we wear. And I told you, see, I can see everything now from a neutral perspective. So what is white is white, what is dark is dark, what is black is black. I know the environment, the colors around me, the color of my shirt and everything. But once I take on a glass, a sunglass, for instance, if it's dark, that will influence and affect my perception, my interpretation, my view. Guess what? If it's the dark glass, everything I will see will be from that, through the lens of that dark glass. If it's a green glass, everything also. This is why you see people who have been through pain or people who have been through all kinds of things in their life. They see people and relate from that place because it's a mindset. So you cannot change a person's life until you change their mindset. Jesus said, you cannot take new wine and put into an old wineskin. So if you want this year to be a new year, you have to develop a new mindset. Otherwise, if I change your location, I change your job, I even change your friends, you even move away from your environment. If you go anywhere, don't forget you take you with you wherever you go. As long as you have the same mindset, you're going to be making the same decision, feeling the same way, thinking the same way. And your mindset will influence your behavior. It will influence your performance, your reaction, which will end up producing results that you don't want. So that's why you and I must consciously develop the kind of mindset that we need for 2022. So today, let me talk about one of the most important mindsets you must develop. It's a success mindset. And we talked the last time when you want to build mindset, how you have to listen to positive things, allow mentors and people who have succeeded, dreamers, winners, to influence the way you think. So let's look at 10 things that successful people do, people with a success mindset. And I think this will really help you in 2022. Now, first and foremost, you have to define what success means to you. Describe it, define it. It's not the same for everybody. Success as a term is relative. To somebody, it might just be you completing your university program and getting a degree. For somebody, it might be you getting more clients. For somebody, it's promotion. For somebody, you want more joy or happiness. For somebody, you want to lose weight and, feel better, be healthy. For somebody, a minister, you want to grow your church. For somebody this year, maybe actually you just want to go to some places of your dream. For somebody, you want to win the trophy or championship if you're in sport or get medals. For somebody else, you want to move to a new house. Whatever your definition of success is, let me say this to you. You owe yourself happiness this year. You owe yourself attainment this year. You owe yourself your best life. Make this year your best year. God is for you. God has given you everything it takes. You're already blessed. You're already favored. You already have the universe already is conspiring to help you. But you have to develop the right mindset so that the forces, fixed laws that God has set in the world, that is governing the world, be able to assist you to get you where you're supposed to go. So number one thing that successful people do, number one, they set goals. They've developed this habit for setting goals. You will never meet a successful person who doesn't believe in the practice of setting goals. Why is this important? It helps you to set a target. Because you see, if you don't know where you're going and you don't define short-term or long-term goals, you will not know when you get there. And then when you live your life without goals, then you'll be easily distracted. You are likely to go in every direction in life. So guess what? So you define exactly what is it that you want for 2022 or 5 years from now or 10 years from now. So what do? Now, you have to make sure that when you set these goals, you also find a powerful why. Why do you want to achieve these goals? Somebody once said that why will give you the motivation when you run into setbacks and you're tempted to quit or to be discouraged. So you get up and you ask yourself, now let me tell you something. There's something called destination disease. Don't settle. Don't get stuck in a rut. Okay? Somebody once said that don't allow people to clap you into irrelevance. Don't let people start celebrating you early. Some people just get up, okay, you bought one house or you just get promotion, you hit the first 1 million, then you sit down. It's called resting on your oars. You will get rusty and rusted. Life is not like that. There should be room for continuous improvement. Even if you have a wonderful life, set new goals this year. And by the way, if you're a child of God, the Bible says God will bless you and you will be a blessing. So we go from glory to glory, from strength to strength. Your best life is not behind you, it's in front of you. You are not driving your best car yet. You're not in your best house yet. You've not gone on your best holiday yet. There's still more for you to conquer and accomplish. So set goals this year, new goals, and let those goals include goals that will require faith, that will stretch you, and that will help you to wake you up in the morning. That's number one. Then number two, things that successful people do who have a success mindset, they take responsibility for their life. What does that mean? Now, successful people are not like the majority of people, okay, who allow themselves to develop what I call a victim mentality. And what do? They blame the environment. They blame, if it's America, they blame the Republicans when they're in power. They blame the Democrat. UK is the Labour. If it's not Labour, it's the MP, Conservative Party. Then they blame now coronavirus. Successful people don't do that. What they do, they learn to take responsibility for failure or success. And how do they do that? They learn from every experience. They come up with this mantra that say everything happened for a reason. Even if maybe you are a manager or you're somebody who recruit people, they're going to betray you, people will do things to you. Guess what? After all, I'm the one who actually made that decision. And for me, that really helped me. Like as a minister, I've made poor choices, wrong judgment. And there's a time where you're tempted to say, oh, it's me, why did these people do this? You will develop a victim mindset. And this is the reason why I'm sorry if you're listening to me, you're from Africa or the Caribbean. Sometimes I don't buy into all these minorities and then government and politicians think like they have to think for us. And no. You have to take responsibility. Now, you may not be responsible for what happened to you, but you are responsible for how you interpret and respond to what happened to you. So successful people take responsibility for where they are now. It's like if you're driving a car and you get into a ditch, you stay there. You look for how to take series of decisions to get out of that hole. And that's what you have to do. So successful people don't blame the environment. Now listen to this. Remember, everyone faces setbacks. Everyone has opportunity to blame others and circumstances. But what do? They just focus on moving on and overcoming adversity. So if you're a responsible person, never live in the past and stop making excuses for what happened to you or what should have been or who didn't help you. No, your thought process should be, how am I going to move out of this situation and take advantage of everything that happens to me? Number three, successful people also, guess what they do? They also have great discipline. They understand that self-discipline is one of the most powerful traits that you can develop. Because let me tell you something, it's not easy to do things consistently. Everyone will tell you, for instance, if you're trying to keep healthy, lose weight, sometimes you don't get up in the morning and feel like the weather is wacky, your body doesn't want to get up, but you develop discipline. It's not easy for you to save money, okay? Because there's this temptation, you want to wear what everybody's wearing and all of that. But let's say you have a goal, you want to invest in a house, you can now practice what they call delayed gratification. It's self-discipline. A disciplined person has no. Okay, the most powerful thing they can say is no. 2 words. They know that they cannot be everywhere. They know sometimes they have to say no to certain things. Okay, I feel like going to do this thing, but they say, how does it fit into my dream? They say no to certain people and certain places. Why is discipline? What is discipline? It's self-management, self-governance. It's called self-control. You have restraint. Okay. There are just certain things you tell yourself, I don't do. Why? They may be convenient, but no, in the long run, this is not going to profit me or take me to where I'm supposed to go. In fact, when you read through the scripture, Paul said, I put myself under. That's what he meant by self-discipline. Okay, so it is easier, sometimes just to set goals, but to continue to commit to those goals require discipline. Somebody once said there's a difference between being interested and being committed. Everybody is interested in being wealthy, successful, achieving. But trust me, it takes discipline when the motivation is no longer there. Now, that's what successful people do. Then number 4, successful people are obsessed with self-development. You can't claim to be successful if you're not constantly working on yourself. So what does that mean? You're open to learn new things through mentors, through audiobooks, reading, sometimes seminars, you go online. They're constantly feeding their mind, even if it's an hour a day. Okay, they just know that when you increase your learning, you increase your earning. Powerful statement. So you're growing financially, spiritually, even maritally. There are some people who are married, they've not brought any spice into their relationship, not reading any good books, their communication is wacky. Some people have stayed on the same level in their job. Why? You're not increasing your value. But when you look at successful people, I think one time they did statistics that they were comparing poor people and successful people. 80% of them, what they do all the time. A few years ago, a man was sharing. I went to one seminar in Nigeria. The man said he was flying from Nigeria. Okay, they took a flight from Nigeria, and I think they had to stop in, I believe it's Germany or France, and then they head off to New York. And he said how every Nigerian in the plane were either watching a movie, they were gossiping, or they were sleeping. 80%. He said, but the flight he took from France, I believe, or Germany to America, 80% of them were either reading something or they were watching something constructive. Even if it's a movie, what can they learn from it? Why? And you're surprised the Western world is the Western world. Because there's this obsession for continuous development. Let me tell you this. It's okay to go to university and get your degree, but self-development is more. That's why they said, I can't remember the exact stat now, how that many people who are millionaires today were dropouts. Name them. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, they develop themselves. Self-development is more important than just going to school, passing the exam to get a job. So you have to be obsessed with developing yourself. Stay open to new ideas. Be open to grow and receive new information. That's how successful people think. It's a mindset. Then number 4, they read a lot, which is like a follow-up. Successful people, guess what? They're happy sometimes to be alone and stay in a quiet place. Why? Because they want to read what will benefit their mind and will better their future. They want to be at the top of their game. They don't want to just sit down there and just feel others are overtaking them. Whether it's in the office or in that field that you work in, you want to make sure you're moving forward. The Bible says we'll be the head and not the tail. And it's not easy to defend what they call undefeatable champion. Do you know what people like all these championships, whether it's Fury and all of them, have to do to remain champions? Man, they got to do what you got to do to stay in shape, to stay on top, to stay mentally strong. It's very important. So develop the habit of reading. Okay, so what does that mean? Now, somebody said, I find it difficult to finish a book. Okay, begin with books of interest. Okay, I don't want you to go and read books that are not, how Susie dumped Michael in Spain. That won't help you. Don't read depressing books and all these fiction books. I'm not for it. Read something that will enhance your destiny, something you can. Somebody once said, when you read a book, 3 things you should look for. Number 1, when you read a book, he said, look for a principle. Okay, number 2, look for what they call phraseology, a new phrase or language of expression. Then number 3, you also look for information to understand what that book is telling you. And sometimes people have gone through 20 years of experience and then they condense it into a book. I think it was Anthony Robbins who said a lady one time learned how to make cakes 20 years and then she wrote a book that you could read for 2 hours. Think about it. So you glean the wisdom of some 20 years of research. They put it in a book, and somebody feel like, I can't finish a book of like 100 pages. Come on. So read this year. Then number 5. Okay, they manage their time well. You and I only have one lifetime. All people have only 24 hours. Successful people manage their time well. They know that time is essential to success. Unsuccessful people, usually they get stressed. They know how to waste time. They don't keep appointment. They don't respect other people's time. No, successful people, guess what happened? They know how to invest time. They don't just waste or spend time. Okay, they look at where they want the highest level of result, and then they put their time there. Okay, also they know how to prioritize. You see, they don't major on minor and minor on major. If you're somebody here, maybe you have so much tasks to do, you're running an organization, don't be what I call jack of all trades. Don't try to micromanage anything. Just find the things that are important. As a pastor, for instance, I know that in the church, when it comes to the word of God, is the main attraction, spiritual, and nobody can do that for me. So I look for people with administrative gifts, people with social media gifts, people with things that I know I can do, and I'm not really ashamed. Okay, I was talking to somebody the other day, and he was asking me, "Oh, what do we do about this?" I said, "Listen, I don't know much about it. I have an idea, but I don't even want to, because why? It will just be stupid for me to try to be best at everything." See, that's why some people, when they have their company, they don't know when to outgrow. When you started it alone, maybe in your room, a time comes you have to recruit people. Okay, even Jesus himself, he started with 12 disciples where you have to be secured, because people will come who have gift and skill, areas where you are lacking. You should be able to delegate things to them, responsibility, and give them authority and get out of their way. This is so important. Successful people know they don't have the time to start going to what I call trivialities and frivolities. No, they prioritize, they schedule their priority and prioritize their schedule. So they make good use of their time, give where their best and highest use is. That's what you should do with your time. Even if you're a mother at home, what are your 3 priorities? You know, your husband, as a wife, you know, your kids. You just try this year to make sure all of us have 24 hours. Make the most of it. Successful people know how to do that. Don't waste time this year. Don't spend time. Invest time. Then number 7, successful people take risk. They know it is risky not to take risk. Let me tell you, life itself is a risk. So the fear of failure make a lot of people not to take risk. Why? What if I fail? But trust me, success grew out of failure. Every successful person was once a failure. Every successful was an ex-failure. Go and read the story of Abraham Lincoln, Colonel Sanders, who started what you call KFC today. Sometimes you will not actually achieve success the first time you try. I heard Brian Tracy said something some years ago. He was talking about self-made millionaire. He said nobody succeeds the first time. So you don't take failure personally, because some people, maybe the last time you tried, you wanted to, do something, you went out on your dream, or you were looking for help, or you're trying to invest, and then something went wrong. Some people just get stuck. They don't take any, or some people, they play it so safe. They stay in their comfort zone. Okay, they look for all the excuses. Okay, you know what the Bible says about them? It says a lazy man will not go out. Oh, there's always lion. If it's not lion, oh, it's the government. If it's not government, it's weather. It's not the right time. When you stay like that, you will never attempt anything big. So risk is involved in achievement. Of course, it has to be wise, calculated. I'm not just saying, you're just like careless. No, I'm saying that when you see opportunities come, sometimes they will disguise as risk, or will be wrapped around with risk. So you have to, this year, if you're believing God for new blessing, you want to go new position, maybe you're even going to a new line of business, something you've never done before. You may just say, well, I'm going to go and try it. At least I'll give it a try. You should have that kind of a mentality. It's very important. And sometimes it's when you fail, you will know what doesn't work. In fact, successful people, when they fail, that's what they come up with. Now, I think it's the man who invited the light bulb. He tried the experience 999 times and he got it on the 1000th time. And when he came out, they said, you failed 990. He said, no, I only learned 999 times how not to invent the electricity bulb, the bulb. And today, look at, years later, the world is actually enjoying and benefiting from its experiment. So the next thing I want to talk about, then number 8, successful people, they just keep going. They just keep going. They know that winners don't quit and quitters don't win. They suffer failure and setback, but they just keep going. Why do they do this? I want to read something here which I think you need to understand about success, and I think it's going to tell you how successful people really reason. Because everyone who attempts to succeed will go through. Listen to what somebody said. He said, the road to success is not straightforward. Okay? There is a curb called failure, a loop called confusion, speed bump called friends, Red light, call enemies. Caution, call family. You will have flat tire, called a job. He said, but if you have a spare tire, called determination. Engine, called perseverance. Insurance, called faith. And a driver, called willpower. You will make it to the place called success. It's not straightforward. So when they experience setback, they know winners don't quit and quitters don't win. They know that character is developed and formed in adversity. Nobody grows when everything is okay. I wish I would give you the illustration of the eagle, but because of time, eagles develop much more when they go through that experience, when the mother, eagle takes the eaglet and releases it into the sky. And they think, oh, you're going to kill me. That's how the wing is developed. So I want you to understand adversity is not always a bad thing. You cannot become great if you don't go through something. Somebody once said, there is no champion without stories of challenges to tell. Even your life will be tasteless. What story will you have if you have not been through anything? So what do? They just keep going. And that's one of the things I respect about my manager, who is just sitting somewhere around here. 2-3 years ago, I know what he went through as a family. This guy has not one day. He went through moments as a dad, and then you lose your sister-in-law. I see him under the most, when you say the worst happened, I mean, back to back within a 3 months period, the guy just got up, dust it off, like one day at a time. And that's what you need to do. So maybe during this pandemic, you've lost your job. Maybe somebody left you, your relationship, you went through a breakup, somebody, so things happen. It's life. You just have to train yourself to just keep going. Why? You don't know what is coming in the next chapter. And God has a way of making it up to you. So don't quit. Just burn the bridge behind you. If you know something is for you, you went there. I don't care to know how many setbacks, how many rejection. Do you know how many people are married to their spouse today, and the first time they went on a date and asked the lady, she said no. And they took the rejection gracefully. The guy who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, it took him 6 months. Said his wife was saying, no, the current wife now, I don't want to go out. He just continued persistence. And they say persistence break resistance is a true statement. So just keep going. Just keep going. You will be tempted to be, to quit. You'll be discouraged. You'll have even moments in your life when it looks like you have failed. Don't take it personal. There's a difference between failure as a person and failure as an event. If you step out on something and it didn't work out, it's not you that failed. It's just that your attempt didn't work out. You may need to learn something new. The timing might be wrong. Maybe you need skill, or you did it with the wrong people or in the wrong environment. That's the way to interpret. That's how successful people think. I read a book by Anthony Robbins. Is called Awaken the Giant Within, and he talked about 7 lies of success. And one of the things he talked there is how successful people deal with setback. He just said when setback happen, they take it as outcomes. They don't emotionalize it and say, oh, that is me. I define myself by this temporary setback. They just see it as a setback. Okay, what are the lessons? And then they leave the detail and say, I'll do better next time. Very important. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, number 9, successful people always find a way to win. Man, so they keep changing their approach, keep tweaking things until they find. No, see, when you were coming to this world, you were born as a human being, you come in as a child. Nobody came in with the key to solve life problems. Okay? You've probably never been married before. You've never been this age before. You've never lived where you are before. So many things you're going to enter. It's the first time you're doing it. So you have to figure it out. And that means you have to have this mindset. Successful people find a way. Whatever life throws at them, either they will dodge it, they will smash through it, whatever is required, they will find a way. It is the whatever it takes mentality. I will find a way to get this thing done. See, whereas people who don't have this success mindset, when they meet things, they just get, oh, no way, man, I can't see a way out. No, they keep tweaking things. I mean, look at our phones and all the gadgets that we use. Why do they keep perfecting it? They don't have this thing like, otherwise we'll still be using maybe Nokia 33. When that came out, they always look. Sometimes even when it's old things, they look for new ways, size it up. Like my phone, I just took new contract, the last one. There's this app. You have to find ways to win. Look for ways to win. Look for ways to win. You have to look for a way to win. Because success mindset is also a winning mentality. You look for ways to win. Okay, so finally the 10th one, successful people who have a success mindset, they do what they love. Anthony Robbins calls this, they see their vocation as vacation. One of the worst things that can happen is for you to get up every day and then you go to a work you don't like, with people you don't like, and then it will be torture to your soul. Now you may begin there. So maybe you graduated, what is available right now, but just continue to keep your eyes. That thing you feel passionate about, something that you feel a sense of calling. This is what I really want to do. Because when you find what you love to do, You will not even have closing time. Sometimes they'll be begging you. You know the reason why some people dread, I can't wait for 5 o'clock, I want to get out of this office. You're not doing what you love. You're just working on a job. And there's a difference between job and work. For instance, when God created Adam, God gave Adam work, not job. Job is what you learn in school. Work is what you are born to do. You are wired. It's like a calling. And you don't have off time. Sometimes they go home, you are still thinking because it's you. So successful people do what they love, what they are passionate about, what gives them fulfillment. Why? Because you are going to be spending majority of your time in your workplace. Some of you do 12 hours. Do you know how many hours it comes to in a week? Let's say you work 12 hours or 8 hours, you total it. In a year, and then you work in that place for 10 years. Do you know how much of your life in terms of percentage? Maybe you stay at home, you slept 8 hours, you give more, and then you're busy doing something you don't love, you're not passionate about. Think about it. When you get to 60 or 50 or 70, you've just given 30 years of your life, invested in something you don't love, with people you don't like. No, you'll not be fulfilled. So even if right now what you're doing is not really what you feel that you're called to do, just see it as a temporary stop, okay, on the way to where you're going. I hope these 10 points have helped you. I want you to develop a success. I love you. I want you to succeed. I'm also speaking to you. I'm speaking to myself. I constantly remind myself of this thing. Look for a way to win this year. Set goals this year. Be flexible and be responsible. And if something doesn't work out, don't define yourself by that term. Every success, may not want to talk about it, goes through setbacks, disappointment, things that look like failure. It doesn't work out the first time. Don't forget, you are not God. Only God is perfect. He will never make mistakes. You will mess things up. But just keep picking yourself back up until you are able to become and achieve those things that God created you here to do. I hope this has helped you. So this year, the next time I hear from you, please, I want you to leave comments how this video is impacting you. Because I believe that 2022, you're going to make the most of it. So God bless you. Please subscribe. Share this video with as many people as possible. I'll see you next time. God bless you. Take care.